I appreciate everyone coming on. My name's Todd Chunn. If you've been on before, awesome. If not, welcome. And we're just gonna try to answer some questions and see what kind of experience has anyone here. Are they actively wholesaling currently? Have they done any deals?
No.
No. Okay. Awesome. If perfect. Are you looking for deals right now? And if so, what are you doing to find your leads?
I use the MLS and then Craigslist and then also the for sale by owner on Zillow.
Okay, yeah, those are some good ones. On the MLS, what are you doing? Are you calling the agents?
Yeah, I call the agents and then I offer dual agency. So that way they're like a little bit more motivated to like work with me.
Sure.
For Craigslist, I just send a text like saying, I first make sure that it's not like another wholesaler because I've encountered other wholesalers on Craigslist. And I mean, that's a good way to like connect with them as well. Like, don't just say, "Oh, screw this guy." You can also like, "Hey, do you mind if I work with you? If I can bring you a deal, can we JV?" So that's one way you can look at it.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry to cut you off. Another good thing you could do with Craigslist is you don't have to let them know you found it on Craigslist. Okay. If you think it, like you said, you read it and it looks like it's the seller. I would reach out to them. Don't tell them you've seen it on Craigslist. Just tell them you're driving in the area and you happen to, you wrote down a bunch of houses. You work with a group of investors and you're looking to buy another couple properties in the next 30 days. And you were just reaching out to see if you might be interested in selling the property at 123 Banana Street. Okay. Because you got a lot of information on Craigslist already, but at least you could build rapport because a lot of times you're going to get an old time landlord that's going to say, well, how much are you going to give me? This and that. So like I said, I've done it in the past where I call the guy or lady and I say, how you doing? My name's Todd. I was driving around in this area and I work with a group of investors. We're looking to buy a couple of properties here in the next 30 days or so. And I was just, reaching out to see if you might be interested in a cash offer for the property at 123 Banana Street. And then you start talking, and of course he's going to probably say yes. And he said, awesome. Well, if I may, let me ask you a few questions and I'll see if we can figure something out that works well for you and works well for me and go from there. And that's when you get into the house, you can find out, even if you, like I said, even if it said it's rented, you could say, is this property a property you're living in? Is it rented? Is it vacant? And then you could just start talking from there. You can always ask them, how much are you looking to get for the house? Because it might say in Craigslist 50,000. He might tell you 40,000, right? And so that way you could pretty much you build some rapport, make a lead out of it without telling them you saw it on Craigslist. Does that make sense, Chris?
yeah.
It's
So just do it without like saying that you saw it on Craigslist.
Absolutely. Yep. And then a lot of times what I always ask the person there, if I think if they're trying to get too much for the house, of course, I always ask them, is that the best you could do? And let's say he wants 50 and he says, yes. He said, well, if I was able to get you the price that you're looking for, but if you're able to do some terms where I could give you a large down payment and make monthly payments to you, would that be something you might be interested in doing? All right, boom. Or would that be something? Another way to put it is,
That's like seller financing, right?
Yeah, that's like seller financing type deal. Or is that something you might entertain? He doesn't have to, you're saying you might, he might, but if he says yes, then that just shows a little more, you got little more options. And then I would make an appointment to go see that house or to meet with this, to meet with the seller, see how can I come out and look at it. Are you virtual, Chris, or are you doing in your local market?
Yeah, I do it at my local market, but I call first before I even take a look at the property because
Yeah,
I don't want to just like go there and not be able to make an offer or like have the thing fall through.
100%. I always say, there's no reason to try to see if it's a deal until you're talking. You got to talk to the person first and find, get some information. You could always call him back with, once you research it from there. If he seems to be interested, he's giving you some good answers and to your questions, then you could kind of underwrite the file a little bit, kind of look at the comps and see if you got something you might be able to work with. And then you could always call them back. You could say, look, I'm going to sit down with my finance manager, or I'm going to sit down with my partner here. He knows this area a little bit better than I do. And is it okay? Are you going to be available later today at this time or tomorrow at this time or whatever you think works. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could make an appointment for the next day. And then if it doesn't work after you do your research, you can always call them back and say, look, I know we have an appointment. I wanted to call you before the appointment that's set for tomorrow. I've been looking at everything and then you can take it from there and try to see if you could get it for a little bit less or say, look, this price, that 50,000 is not going to work. I could just tell you this is what we're coming up with. The market this, the market that, and we're not here to waste time going to the house, but you always do gain some experience when you do go to the house. You know, so it's always good to do it when you can, because sometimes you're face to face. A lot of deals take, you got to follow up with them. I got a deal actually. I got 2 deals under contract today. And one, I went out on August 1st. Today's the 24th. And it took that long, I just gave him an offer and he didn't.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys this. Let me show it to you. I'm
I
sorry.
had a property, like I had a property. It was like a unfinished renovation. And then I made an offer to it. I didn't get like a response, and it turned out that the owner had like a medical emergency, so that took like time from getting a reply. And then Monday, I figured out that there was another cash offer that was like that outpriced mine. So it's just like I just keep getting outpriced.
Sure. So who was the other person, the contractor?
The owner, he had a medical emergency, so that delayed any responses on my end, like that I got. And yeah, that and then by the time I got a response, it was like, oh, there's another cash offer and it's higher than yours.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. So
you gotta,
and like I made the calculations and I offered the best and highest right away. So if other people are able to like outprice mine, how does that work? Because the way I calculated it was using the comps and then like an estimated repair value. So with the people that are beating me or people with their own crews and stuff like that?
You know what? It could be a lot of different things. You could if someone, to give you an example, like let's say this guy said, look, I got another offer and that I went with, you could say, terrific. How much figure out what that offer is. Do you know how much the offer was?
No. It was through the MLS. So the listing agent, which like I said, I use dual agency.
Mhm.
Was like working as my buyer's agent, but I didn't ask her what kind of offer it was.
Yeah, I would have asked her and got the number and said, terrific. I hope everything works well. When is it a cash offer or do they have to get a mortgage?
No, it said it was a cash offer.
Okay, terrific. When are you looking to close on the deal? And they said, well, they said they'll close in 2 weeks. Awesome. Can I follow up with you just to make sure it closed? Okay. And and then you follow up next week, you find out when it's scheduled to close. Terrific, terrific, terrific. The day of closing, you follow up and see if if it did close. A lot of times people don't close, and then you can step right in there and you know and try to get the deal from there.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that really works well, not necessarily with agents, but with sellers, because sometimes there's wholesalers that are just, giving the seller what he wants. Like this one house that I'm going to show you guys in a second, the seller wanted like $18,000. And I'm like, there's no way I could do 18,000. But another wholesaler might have walked in there and said, look, I'll give you 18,000. Great. He's never going to sell it. I know what the market is. I mean, he might sell it or she, but most likely they're not. So I'm going to be in front of that guy. I'm going to say, well, when did they say they're going to close by? And they give me all the information. I said, okay, terrific. Is it okay if I follow up with you, make sure everything worked out well, this and that? And they always say yes. And then I go in there and when it doesn't close, and I swoop right in there and I saved the day, I guess you would say,
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So let me show you, let me share my screen here. Here's something, I usually have, it's a 3-option letter of intent. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a letter of intent to purchase. So this particular guy, I just got this under contract. Like I said, he wanted 18,000. And so I gave him a few options. It's really a simple contract. This is when I don't want to write a purchase agreement because we're too far away. So I always tell them, I say, Mr. Washington, here's what I'm going to do. I got a couple ideas that I want to send to you. I make sure I have their email address. They say, I'm going to send it. And then we could talk about it and see if something that might work. And I always send it late at night. And if they call me or text me or email me, I do not respond to the next day. Okay. The reason,
Wait, why is that?
because they might be a little pissed off because the price is a lot lower. They might, and there's no reason for me to talk to them. I let them sleep on it. And the next day I follow up. And usually the next day they have a calmer, just like anything, the initial reaction, you're pissed off. And then if you sleep on it, it's not as bad as you thought, usually. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's just what I do. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't, what I do is just works for me. It might not be right. It might not be wrong, but so here's the letter of intent to purchase. It says, thank you for the opportunity to review and consider your property. We are prepared to purchase your property in one of the following ways. And then I have option 1, cash option, all cash, purchase price $10,000, full price payable to you at closing. We pay all closing costs. We will take responsibility for any delinquent property taxes. Okay. Option 2, monthly payment option. And then the purchase price is a little higher. It's like $18,000. We pay all closing costs, $2,000 cash to you at closing, seller to finance $16,000 balance, or $16,000 balance, and buyer will pay $225 monthly to the seller for 72 months, starting on this date. And buyer to be responsible for any delinquent and future property taxes, insurance, utilities, and repairs. And then option 3 is a little bit bigger. I give them a little more money. I give them a little more money down, and then we just do seller financing. I'll pay them yearly. So I'll give them 25,000 cash at closing, buyer to pay 2,500 yearly instead of paying a monthly payment to seller until paid off starting 9/1/23. Okay. And to close on or before September 1st, contingent on warranty deed, transferring good and marketable title and inspection. All right. So that's kind of like my feeler that I send out to everyone. Okay. But it's just something that,
Wait, Todd.
yes.
I also am looking at another property. It's actually pretty nice. It's a very historical home. The owner, she's like pressured. It's not like an estate sale, but it's like owned by a group of people. They're like family. And one of the members is like forcing the sale. So like they're motivated to sell, and it's a very historic home. Um, so she's I spoke to her yesterday. Um, and she asked me, "Hey, can you submit a written offer? Would I submit something similar to what you just showed me, or?"
Um,
And this is a FISBO, so it's off market.
yeah, what state are you in? What
New
state?
Jersey, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay. It depends. What are they asking for the property?
Specific number. Uh, sorry, I don't have the number memorized off the top of my head.
Okay, no problem. Is your offer going to be close to that?
They were offering, I think it was 129.9. My highest offer was 105.
105. Gotcha. Yeah. So and it sounds like there's a lot of people involved, like more than one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She
So
said there were like half a dozen offers already.
yeah, they received half a dozen offers already.
Yeah, that she told me that because I found out after they had an open house because that's just when it came across my feed. So, um, like, what do you suggest me doing here?
Yeah, someone told me like if you're the seller and you said we've had a half a dozen offers so far, I would have said, oh, well, what is your highest offer that you received? I want to. All right, so let's role play for a minute. So so let me say, if I say that to you, what is the highest offer that you received so far?
Uh, right around list price or a little bit above.
And why didn't you take it?
I wanted to feel out the market.
I got you. Well, that makes sense. So I'll tell you, I'm not going to be close to that number. Um, if you're asking 129.9 and that makes sense, of course, you got to make sure then I would ask them if it was a cash offer or do they have to get a mortgage? Okay. Two different things. Sometimes the highest offer is not the best offer. A cash offer beats a mortgage type offer all day long, depending
Yeah.
if they're close. You know what I mean? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
of course, if someone's offering 50 cash and someone's going to pay 130 on a mortgage, you're going to go with the mortgage. But if they're close, you know. So those are the things I would be asking, because if you're going to be at 105 and they're at 129, they're asking and they got 6 offers, most likely you're not going to be close to the highest offer unless they're
Yeah.
all low ball offers. Now, if you would have told me, the highest offer we got was 110,000, you say, okay, I wonder why you got so many offers and they're all way lower. What's the condition of the property, or what does it need? Start asking about the house some more,
Yeah, I did. I took notes on it.
Okay, terrific. So you start asking about the house some more, and you always ask them, what, you know, is there anything majorly any major issues with the house that I should be aware of, and this, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And and then what is, you got an offer for 110. What is the least amount of money that you would take? I don't know if I could do it, but I'm going to try to come up to that number.
Well, remember, it's like a committee group of people owning it, so she doesn't have the final say. She just listed it on Zillow as a FISBO to get like publicity on it. But she said that she was on vacation at the time. Like she's on vacation this week, and she was like tired of getting so many calls, so she decided that she would be listing it as with an agent. She might be listing it.
Right. Gotcha.
So it wouldn't be only up to her to decide what's the lowest price.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Yeah. So, I mean, you can see the difficulty when you're dealing with the agents, and you're not, but it seems like you're dealing directly. It was a for sale by owner, so that was good. For sale by owners could be really good, but you got a lot of different dynamics working in there with different family members and things like that. So your job is to try to solve the problem.
Yeah.
You got 6 offers coming in and things like that. You could just be in front of them. You know what I mean? Just follow up all the time and talk to them and try to get as much information. Don't try to send them an offer fast, because they're just going to use your offer against you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you want to be either the last one in or the first one with, and get them to sign the offer, solve all their problems and everything else. All right. So awesome. Good work. I see that you go, if anyone's markets in Texas area, I would love to connect. I do foreclosure and absentee owner deals and generating some traction. Need some good partners and wholesalers to bring deals to me. Terrific. All right. Awesome. Thanks for putting your information in there. I'll lock you in. And then, if everyone, I put my information in there. If anyone else, if you want to put in your information, it would be awesome. Then what market you're in, name, phone number, cell number, email, market, that'll be awesome. Any other questions, burning questions, or?
Do you know like any wholesalers in New Jersey?
I do not.
It was worth a try.
Yeah, no problem. I do not. Do they have meetups there, Chris?
Yeah, I go to RIAs and meetups and stuff like that, but it never hurts to like expand from those places.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just keep doing that. Go to those meetups and you'll meet someone that you could connect with for sure. Awesome.
One quick question. I connected with with the president of a title company, and they specialize in wholesale. So that was my main thing. But she said that she has like a group of wholesalers that she keeps close in contact with. How would be the best way to like convince her to like let me become in contact with those wholesalers?
Well, really, what you really want to do is get connected with buyers. If she does a lot of wholesale transaction, you want to know how can you get those buyers that are buying those wholesale transactions.
Oh, I didn't think of it like that. Thank you.
A wholesaler, you'll be able to find wholesalers. You could talk to maybe instead of talking to the owner, talk to talk to one of the transaction coordinators or processors, I guess, title processors,
Yeah.
and say, look, any deal you give me some buyers there. Any deal I sell, I'll give you $500 to one of those buyers. You know, she'll give
Wait, like, is that legal?
you.
I'm not trying to do anything illegal because
Are you a licensed agent?
no.
Okay, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
If you're a licensed agent, you can't do that. But I have never done that before. I know people that have.
I mean, I wouldn't tell anybody if like you accidentally like slipped some bills to get a deal.
Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're getting information from the title company. You just don't want to call that buyer and say, so and so gave me your name and number, said you're a buyer. You could just
Yeah,
look.
obviously.
I was calling. I seen you bought some properties and you look like an investor. Of course, they're not going to be mad at you. You're. I was hoping maybe I could learn some stuff from you. I got some houses you might be interested in. You might know somebody that might be interested in some houses. Blah 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 blah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I have mail ladies, mail carriers, a handful of them. Every time I see them, I get I stop and I got this little card. Let me show you guys what it looks like. I got one in my briefcase or my backpack. So I go to the dollar store and get a pack of these cards. Where did they go? So the one I use all the time has a dog on it. All right. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, hang on. Let me show you. This is my favorite one. Right here, little doggy. So I just write in the card, my name. I just write in my name, email address, my cell phone number, and I write on a list all the way down that I'm looking for properties that someone might have passed away, foreclosure, tenants, bad tenants, squatters, bad roofs, ugly houses. I buy all these type of homes, and someone might be moving, going through a divorce, all this, because the mail carriers, they work the same routes all the time. They know their customers. They know when they see when there's a foreclosure, or someone's behind on stuff, and so they just text me. I just say, just text me the address, and I know how to skip trace it. And if I buy that house, I know a guy that some guys pay $500 for that lead. Okay, so it's just something you might be able to do. Awesome. So the skip tracing that I use a different. I mean, they all are about 75% good. You got White Pages Premium, Ben Verified, Spatch Skip Tracing. The Deal Machine, you could get skip tracing from them. I use Vulcan 7, and they all are kind of good. They kind of suck. So that's the key. I wish we were able to put an address in there and get the right phone number. It would make this business so much easier. For sure, for sure. It's Vulcan, VULCAN 7. It's good. It's not my favorite, but it works. I use a bunch of different ones because if it doesn't work in one, I go to the other, and then and there's some people, you might know someone that might know someone that might be a police officer and stuff like that, or some brokers have access to the really good ones, the ones that I used to have one. What was it called? I used to get, it was the best. It was really hard to get. And I would get their driver's license number, their social security number, everything. What was it called? This was like 5 years ago. It cost $1 a pull. It was kind of expensive, but when I really needed to get a hold of someone, I was able to. Of course, that's dangerous, you know. Of course, I never did nothing with someone's social security number, but I'm sure other people might. So that's probably why no one's allowed to can use it anymore. But
Yeah, so you were able to put people's social security number from the internet?
no, it's through a skip tracing service. Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
wild.
Driver's license, everything. It was like it was crazy.
That's
Yeah, it's scary. Carmen, okay, no, REIA meeting is a real estate meeting in certain areas. Oh, wait, an REI meeting is a requirement for my coaching. I'm new in the bit. Okay. Not sure of the question, but I think you're asking, is it a requirement for your coaching? No, it's a place where you know, I go to probably 5 or 6 of them a month in my area, and I pitch out my deals. I meet other investors, other wholesalers, contractors, you know, people in the business. Really, I'm looking for buyers and selling my deals. That's why I go. That's the main reason I go. But I met people, private money people, all kinds of things like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, for sure. What market are you in, Carmen?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're in New Jersey also. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So I always say, or like, for someone that's beginning wholesaling, is taking a neighborhood and driving around the neighborhood looking for ugly houses, or houses that haven't been fixed up in the last 20 years, and skip tracing those houses and finding out who the owner is, skip tracing them, calling them. You could put notes on their doors. You could text them. You could, you know, send them an email. You could do all kinds of things. And that's really a good way to find, you know, a motivated seller.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Well, in the comments there, I got my Facebook group page, my cell phone, all that good stuff. I'll put it in there again, and we'll wrap it up for tonight. Sorry I was late today. I don't know what happened, but I'll have it figured out for tomorrow or for next week. All right. So any other questions before we wrap this up?
No.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you for accepting me.
You're
Enjoy
welcome.
your week.
Thank you.